Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and
Joel. Okay, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny and I'm here with caroling Katrina.
Oh, okay.
And we've got Jolly Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Jolly Joel. Pretty sure you used that one before, but
I think I
so.
used it last Christmas time, so
Probably,
we'll just save it for Christmas.
Yep.
just redo the ones for Christmas.
Yeah, it's okay.
Every-
I'm sure I did Jingle Bells like at one point too. So
Yeah, you probably did.
All right, so we're still in the Christmas season, and we have our Christmas spirit. And it also is the end of the year. So, our last episode was the best of the year. So now it's time to talk about the worst of the year.
Worst.
We haven't done this before, so this is new.
Oh, this is new.
Yeah, we haven't
done
done
New
this.
episode.
It's a new little list.
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot of horror movies this year.
Yeah.
So there weren't
There were.
that many horrible ones.
Right.
But because there's so many, there's going to be some that fell a little short.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
There were some that fell a lot short this year, so that's the main reason we made this list.
Yeah.
We will let you guys know.
Yeah. And, we didn't see every single horror movie that came out this year.
Mm-mm.
So there might be some that we just weren't interested in and didn't watch that might be worse than some of the things that we mentioned, but probably didn't see it. So that's why it's not on our list. But if you feel like there's something that we missed, let us know. And we will maybe watch it. Probably not if you think it's horrible. But
This isn't really the episode to be like,
Yeah.
tell us what's worse and we'll go watch it.
I mean, sometimes it's fun to watch a bad movie and do a review. So
Sometimes, yeah.
that can be fun. We're going to be doing that with Friday the 13th coming up in January, February-ish time. So
Yep.
we'll have a lot of fun
single
with
one
that
of them,
franchise.
Yeah. Do
Yep.
them all.
It's one of the last franchises we have.
Yeah.
Definitely
Like
the
big
worst.
franchises. We'll see. I mean, I haven't seen them in forever, so I mean, my opinion might have changed. I don't know. Highly doubt it, but I don't know.
All right. So we each came with a list of our worst. So, but we're just going to kind of name them off and talk about them. And at the end, each of us will put them in order for you guys.
Yeah.
As far as like not so bad to the worst. So, all right, Katrina, let's start with you. What movie do you want to start with?
The movie I'll start out with, it only made it to the worst list for a few reasons.
Okay.
For one, the trailer
Yeah.
was just the worst because it gave the entire movie away. I know you guys might disagree, but I feel like it gave away all the parts that were supposed to be thrilling and exciting.
You put the black phone on your top 10 of the year list.
Yeah, so she's not talking about the black film.
I know.
And it was so hyped up that you were like so pumped, so ready for this. You're so ready to be so creeped out because if all of this was in the trailer, then oh my gosh, this movie is gonna just make your skin crawl.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're
too
like,
high of expectations, maybe.
yeah,
I know what
absolutely.
you're going to say. I was like, what are you talking
And
about?
so then you're like, oh, the only scary parts in the movie were already spoiled for me in the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, and so instead they have to make you jump at every single little movement, like opening a can of cat food.
That was a super loud part of the movie.
Yeah, that was the one part that I like jumped. So
intense.
Without further ado, the movie I'm talking about is Smile.
All right.
Yeah. You're way too hard on that movie.
It did not make me smile. It was.
Well, it's a good thing it didn't make you smile. That was
That's
the whole...
true.
I mean, except for that one part.
I was,
made me
yeah,
smile.
I know, of course. Danny's laughter in the theater, really. But no, I was so excited for this movie. I was excited for the psychological part of the movie, and it just really fell short. It really fell short right when I was like, oh, okay, it's showing something. It's getting there. It's getting into trauma, and they're doing something with this. Then they totally ruined it with the end. So I was bummed out of walking out of that movie.
Wow.
So
we haven't reviewed
where it goes
this.
on your list.
Yeah. We haven't reviewed this, so I don't want to get too far into spoilers.
Yeah, I tried not to give away anything.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's tuna in it, though. There's cat food.
Yeah,
yes, you did know there is.
Gave away the cat.
Yeah, prepare yourself for that jump scare.
She will be feeding a cat at one point in the movie. Great, I gave away the last
those cat
jump
haters are
scare.
But when we do review it, you'll have to be a part of that episode because I do have some defenses for the ending and how it can still it doesn't tie it up great, but you can argue that it ties it up good or well enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well enough, I could not jump on board with, but I could walk aside you on that one.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, that is
likes
not
her
on
endings
my
to be
list.
wrapped up with a little bow.
Yes. Well, especially if you're trying to add a special meaning to it, like trying to give it deeper meaning, then go all the way.
Right.
But make a decision. Where are you going with it?
I feel like, this movie was a very Hollywood movie. Yeah. Very much a Hollywood movie. It didn't have the ending that I was expecting for a Hollywood movie. It had a different ending than I thought. Mm-hmm. But it went for the... I don't want to spoil it. It went away from its message.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. And I didn't expect there to be a message at all in the movie. So that was kind of cool that there kind of was one. But then I can see why you're saying it was ruined. Yeah. At the end. Yeah. So while you can defend it, you shouldn't have to defend it. It should have been the way you thought it should have ended. Yeah. Which we are talking so cryptically about this.
So I know. I love it. So that's the way I like to talk about it.
So make sure you listen to that episode whenever it comes out. Cause,
cliffhangers all over the place.
Yeah, we'll talk about
year
the real stuff.
Maybe January.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we can do January for that
Probably.
one.
We'll see if it's good enough to review right away.
Oh, we'll review it. I'm sure.
We'll review it.
No. I'm going to have to watch it again so I can really take notes.
Okay.
Take notes.
On what I want to say.
Yeah. Come with your PowerPoint.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
So that is not on my list. Joel, is that on your list?
It can't be on his list.
It was number 5 on my
it was,
top 10.
Oh, yeah, it was on my top 10, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you guys knew I was going to be talking about this.
Yeah, that's true.
It was number 2, but I changed it. So
Yeah, I'm glad that I helped salvage your list a little bit.
Yeah. At least that one. Yeah. Two I changed because I had to flip something to my number 2, but...
All right. Okay. So there's Smile. All right, Joel.
Yep.
What
we're one down.
Do you want to throw in the bunch?
I'm gonna throw in Firestarter. I did watch this one, and I just thought it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
After watching the original one, like, I was kind of hoping they were gonna do something different with it, and adding the CGI was just bad. And it's it was just not a good. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't a horrible movie, but it just was boring.
Yeah.
It's like we've already seen this in the original. Like there was some stuff that was different here and there, but for the most part, it was exactly the same. So
yeah, I started it. I might have got halfway through or so, and then it was late, and I just kind of was done watching it because it was pretty much the same. It was a little different. We get a little more like backstory, I guess, with the family and stuff. But and the dude who had like the Native American name, I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
he was like the Terminator in this one. He was pretty crazy. But you're right. The CGI fire was horrible. A horrible choice to do because they used real fire in the original.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think they really had a choice.
Right.
Because they didn't really have CGI, but yeah, it was, they were able to make it, more realistic because it was real fire.
It was like real fireballs, like on a, it was like on a rope, like when she was shooting the fire, like they actually had fire. So, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, so we did review the original with Drew Barrymore from the 80s with Sacktown movie buffs. Yeah. So go back and listen to that one. You can hear our thoughts there. I think you liked it a little more than me. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I did like it a little bit more.
But and I think we all agreed, like, who was asking for this remake? Like, who... I just don't know that this was really a movie that was like, oh man, they got to remake Firestarter.
Firestarter, yeah.
It was so random.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't a big fan. I turned it off. I hadn't seen the original, but after watching the original in preparation for the new one, I just wasn't really excited about the new one after that because I knew it was gonna be more CGI just from the trailer.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
it's just like, okay, that's kind of lame. So
yeah,
that is on my list as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not in my top 5 worst because I didn't finish it. So, but I did want to mention it. So I did write it down. We'll say that.
Okay.
I think that kind of gives away that it's an honorable mention.
Yeah. I wrote it down in my notes in my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's official.
It's officially on the list. But it doesn't have a number.
Yeah.
Katrina, you didn't see that.
Nope. Didn't see that. Don't.
Just take our word for it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I didn't see the first one. Didn't see this. I didn't know it was a Drew Barrymore movie, so I wouldn't mind watching
little
the
Drew
first
Barrymore.
one.
She's a little kid.
Little Drew.
Yeah.
Little baby Drew.
I mean, I think it's worth watching for like a one-time thing, but it's the original, not the remake. But I don't know.
Yeah, the remake is with
Zac Efron. It looks like.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, Zac Efron. Yeah,
he's all grown up.
Yeah. I have like some of the stuff he's been in. His comedy is actually really funny, really good. But I don't know.
Did you like Baywatch?
I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was pretty funny.
I will tell you, I was totally enjoying watching it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't go into it thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be an amazing movie.
Was Baywatch a comedy? The show?
Yeah.
Well, the show wasn't a comedy.
No, the show wasn't a comedy.
The remake, the movie, was kind of
the
like
Rock
throwing,
and Zac Efron.
and it was kind of throwing digs at Baywatch,
at the show.
and so it was.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was entertaining. Yeah,
it was fun for people who watched Baywatch and didn't take it too seriously.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Anyway, that's
anyway.
It's not a horror movie, but it's,
there is CGI.
It's related because of Zac Efron.
Well, and there's CGI fire in it.
Is there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Zach jumps right into it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
And lives somehow. It's crazy.
Spoiler alert. Sorry,
sounds
guys.
intense.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's a comedy.
Yeah. That's funny that he jumps in the fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, and The Rock is there to make sure everything's okay, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Whenever Dwayne Johnson's there, things are good.
Okay. So let's
get
move on.
back on track.
Back to horror
So
movies.
my next one that I want to mention is so this isn't. I don't know how to feel about this one. I don't know if either of you saw it. We're all going to the World's Fair.
What?
Have
you heard of this,
it?
Cole?
I haven't. I've heard of it, but yeah, I don't really know anything about it. I have heard of this one though. So.
All right. So our son told me about this.
Oh.
He thought it was gonna be like a YouTube movie, and for whatever reason he heard about it and he wanted to show me the trailer and stuff. And then I started seeing reviews about it and things, and it was very like split reviews. Basically, it's a girl who does the World's Fair challenge. It's like this online challenge where it's kind of like The Ring or something. Like you watch this video and do a couple of things, and then you start to go through like changes and eventually die.
Oh,
so
okay.
she does this challenge.
Spoiler.
And, well, it's the premise.
People die in a horror movie? Crazy.
She does this challenge and documents like each day, and it's like kind of like a found footage style of her life after doing the challenge.
Mm.
And
so she didn't die.
well, it like goes. It takes
yet.
a while.
Oh, I see.
So it's like you change and you start to experience things, and then eventually you die.
It's like 7
okay.
days.
Yeah, it's like that's what I say. It's like The Ring.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how I feel about it. I feel like it has something to say, but I'm just not sure. I don't know. It's very slow. There's not a ton of stuff that happens. But it's like, it's almost sad. It's more so sad than scary. But it does have some like horror atmosphere and stuff. So I put it on my list and I wanted to mention it just because I don't know how I feel about it.
So it's an honorable mention.
Yeah. It's not on my top 5. But I did want to mention it. And if you guys have seen it, send me a message about it, what you thought, because I think I want to watch it again just to see what I feel about it the second time around.
I'll watch it with you.
Okay.
I love found footage.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, is it found footage? It is. I think it's
looking up the pictures.
Largely,
it looks like it.
yeah, it's largely her laptop, like footage from her webcam.
Which is like the new day, new age found footage.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It was kind of depressing, kind of sad. So, I don't know. Anyways, there's that one.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Katrina, you're up next.
Oh, okay.
What else do you want to throw in the mix?
Well, I got some big ones to throw in. So, are you ready for the big ones? Because I don't have many
we're
of
not,
the like.
We're not numbering them right now, so we can.
Yeah.
All right, throw in a big one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she had to breathe. Oh man, this is gonna be good.
Halloween Ends.
I knew you were gonna say that one.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Yeah, it's on might be on mine too.
This movie, I didn't even have high hopes for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I didn't even have high hopes because
you
I
hated
didn't.
Halloween Kills, so
Yes, I did. And the one person, not just the one, but like the main person, like I was like ready to see die.
Who?
Her daughter, the granddaughter. Oh,
okay.
I can't stand
What?
her. Oh, I can't
she's one of the
stand her,
best
Joel.
characters in the
No.
trilogy.
No.
Wow. All right.
Couldn't stand her.
Allison.
Her,
Yeah,
I was
Allison.
so ready for her to be done.
More than Lori?
More than Lori.
Oh, wow.
But
I wouldn't go that far.
But the thing is, I mean, the fact that they showed things in the trailer that were not even in the movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And made you think,
yeah.
This is what's going to happen. Like,
well, the way it was promoted, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least do something.
Yeah.
Some parts that you're talking about were in it. It was just not who you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't, the fighting scenes were not with Michael. They were with the other guy.
And then making the whole movie about this other guy and then kill him. Well, wait, are we spoiling?
Yeah, we've already spoiled
We've already spoiled that one. So
then,
that's cat's out of the bag at this point.
Yeah. Killing him at the end, like what was the whole point of even highlighting him in the first place? And then it's like he's this strong, so strong that he can beat Michael Myers.
Yeah. Steal his mask. Yeah, this movie sucks.
It was just
to be fair, though, I blame COVID on the fact that this movie sucks because they had a completely different script before.
No,
but
they were just
no reason.
Let's just go through this. And no, this was supposed to take place the same night of Halloween and Halloween Kills.
They can
they
still
could
do
have
that.
still done that. They still could have done that. They did not have to change their script. I blame them for second guessing themselves. If you had a script that worked, that actually went with the trilogy,
the other two,
then stick with it. There's no reason. If you're bored, write another script. Don't rewrite this one.
I feel like they tried to go with the whole fear takes many shapes, or no, evil takes many shapes. Whole thing, and that's just, I don't know. You can throw that in at the end or something, like Michael dies and then someone else at the end kills somebody or something.
Corey gets
Corey, something happens with him, but he lives through the whole movie. Something you can throw in at the end, but to make that the theme of the entire movie and your main villain for the last 40 something years is just this weak old man.
Sideline.
This is our goodbye to Michael Myers, and this is how you're gonna do it.
Horrible.
And then if you're gonna highlight this other guy who's supposed to kind of like be taking over his persona, then keep him.
Keep him alive.
Keep him so then there's something to go with. But
and Lori, she should have died.
Lori should have died.
They should have just killed both of them off. And since it's the last one, like, why not? No, I do agree. That's why it's on my list. I don't think I disliked it as much as you guys did, because I think it was like halfway when we did our ranking of Halloween. I think I put this one like in like the halfway mark of all the Halloween movies. They definitely had its issues for sure. But so it is what it is. I mean, David Gordon Green's going off to do the Exorcist trilogy, so we'll see how that goes.
Go destroy another.
And he's doing a Hellraiser TV show, so on HBO Max.
I feel like that's a little more his speed.
I don't think you can destroy Hellraiser too much.
You can go in all different directions with Hellraiser and kind of get creative and try to throw in some elevated themes or whatever.
Well,
because it's not a slasher.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and the main villain is barely in the movie, which is apparently is what he likes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Good point. All right, yeah, so that's on mine and Joel's list as well.
Yep.
So we will let you guys know where exactly as we go through these.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
dun dun dun.
Joel, what is the
All
next
right.
one you want to throw in the mix?
So the next one, it's between three I want to go with right now. I'm not sure exactly which one.
Between three, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know which one. I'm going to talk about all of them at some point, but well, I'll stay on. So this one I wanted to mention. This is not in my top 5. This is an honorable mention, but since we just mentioned it, Hellraiser.
Oh wow, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
We
So
didn't watch
I didn't hate
that whole thing. So
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but the thing that I didn't like about it was the fact that I think I mentioned this when we did our that episode on the movies we haven't reviewed yet. Was that you couldn't really see a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
I had all the lights off and everything, and like I was still like having issues with seeing what was going on the screen.
Yeah.
And that's, when most of your movie is like that, it's not a good sign. It's not a good thing to to not be able to see the movie that you're watching. And some of the characters were kind of lame too. I wasn't a huge fan of like really anybody in this movie. So I didn't really care when people got killed. And it's not terrible, but it's also not great either. Okay. So that's why it's not on my top 5, but
gotcha.
I wanted to mention it.
Yeah, we still need to review the original Hellraiser as well.
Oh god.
Yeah. I don't want to do the whole franchise, but yeah.
No.
Because it gets really bad.
So rewatching, me and Katrina watched the original not too long ago, in October, I believe. And that's the 3rd time I had seen it. And I didn't really care for it too much this time around. It was just a little too out there for me.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah, it's really out there. And I feel like the whole Cenobites and Pinhead, they almost kind of ruined the movie. Like I like the Frank stuff and him, trying to regenerate, and she has to kill these people to like feed him, and he's then trying to take over his brother, and all of that stuff is interesting. But then you throw in these weird Cenobites and Pinhead and all these weird creatures and stuff, and then it just, I don't know, kind of lost me. Yeah. So we'll review that one, but that's why I was just not. I was excited for Hellraiser this year. But then watching the original, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not as excited as I thought I was.
You see more of them in this movie.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
That's...
I feel like that's not a good thing.
Maybe it's because of the story that they were telling in the original. You just didn't really want to see the Cenobites because you actually liked the story being told. Yeah, there's not much of a story in this movie, so it's fine when the Cenobites show
up. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll have to review both of them. The old and then the new, and all right. So my next one, I'm gonna crank it up a notch, and this is on my list. Nope.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was number 10 on my top 10 of the year. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it barely made. It barely made it on there, but yeah.
I wasn't super excited for this one once I saw like the trailer and stuff. But I really didn't like how kind of like what Katrina said with Smile, where they had this like message that they were trying to get across and then kind of ruined it at the end. With Smile, I can defend it with nope.
Nope.
We reviewed this one. I had some
Yeah.
other things to say, but the biggest issue that I have with this movie is the message they're trying to get across is this whole exploitation of spectacles and you know, how our society is just gets so infatuated with like ridiculousness. And you know, that's how, you know, Donald Trump became president, you know, things like that. And so the whole story is this thing in the sky is being, you know, seen, and the main characters are trying to use this thing to get famous and rich.
Yeah.
And anybody who looks at it for too long ends up getting killed. So they're trying to like get it on camera in a way that they don't have to be there to see it. So they're trying to get it on camera, like with security cameras and stuff. Well, they do look at it, and they are like trying to bank off of this thing, and anybody else who does dies in the movie. But for some reason, they don't.
Hey, they were chased though.
They were chased.
They got close.
They didn't die, and they were the main perpetrators of this. And they even got a picture at the end of it, and still didn't die. So it's like, okay, your whole message of, you know, not making, you know, these things into spectacles, and the whole monkey thing and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Which is where kind of that connection was, because they were exploiting this monkey on this TV show, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You lose it. You lose the whole message when those characters live, because they were the most egregious of all the characters for what they were trying to do. So, no. Stupid.
Nope.
And the best part was the beginning that, you know, was like a 5-minute scene with Gordy.
Yeah.
And that was the most interesting thing of the movie, and really the only horror aspect of the movie.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So.
I do like that it was an animal and not like a UFO or something. It was an actual, like, living, breathing
I
creature.
didn't like that. I didn't like
Oh, really?
that. Yeah.
I thought it was an original, like, idea.
It's original. I'll give it that. But the whole movie, you're thinking it's a UFO, and it looked really cool. Like the cinematography and like the setting and the acting. Like there's a lot of good things about the movie. But the other issue that I have is once it then changes into this like creature or whatever, and it just looks ridiculous. Yeah, that really turned me off too. I was like, okay, is this movie over? So that is on my list.
Man.
We will.
Yeah, that's your least. That's the worst of his for you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, by far.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Us and Get Out, I think, are just on a different level.
We haven't done Get Out yet. We need to review that one.
Oh, I'll do that with you. I love that one.
We've done Us. That was one of our first ones, so
yeah,
just got to Get Out.
All right, Katrina, what else do you want to throw in there?
All right. Well, I only have one more on my list because I really didn't see that many movies like you guys did.
Yeah.
And I put most of them on my best. So it was ones that really just stuck with me that I was like, oh my gosh, that was just horrible.
Okay.
So the last one on my list, VHS, which I expected to hate because I hate every VHS movie that I've seen.
Man, the first two were actually good.
VHS
though,
99, to be clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this was a whole nother level of what the heck am I watching?
This movie was a mess.
Yeah,
and
so bad.
Yeah, like I know you guys reviewed it already, you guys talked about it.
No, we didn't. I don't know if I want to review this one. I mean, it might be fun to, it's one of those episodes where we just like talk crap on the movie the entire time.
Yeah, which you kind
done a
of did
couple of those.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We spent a
did.
good 15 minutes or so talking
Yeah.
about it in a
Yeah.
different episode.
And one thing that you guys pointed out was that most of the other VHS movies have this, what is it called? The like thing that pulls them all together.
Oh, like a wraparound story.
Yeah, the
Anthology?
wraparound story.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And this wraparound story was like, what the heck are they doing? Like, it had nothing to
It was
do
the
with
army
anything.
men.
Yeah, it
it
was
wasn't even a
army men.
wraparound. It was just like another story.
Like a
That
commercial break.
A commercial
it's
break.
a
That's what
commercial
it was.
between.
But the thing
I
is,
mean, it was 99. Army men were popular in the 90s. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. That was the best part of the movie.
It did look kind of cool. Like
Yeah,
the way that it was done.
The most entertaining part
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm not a
this
VHS
movie-
fan anyway, so.
Yeah.
This movie was a mess, and this is probably the most frustrating of all the VHS movies
I agree.
because there was so much potential with every one of these stories
Yeah.
that they just completely just botched it at the end. It actually kind of made me mad when I was done watching it. I was like, these should have been good.
Yeah.
Like, you're only given 10 to 15 minutes to make a story. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were like trying to be like shocking with the directions that they took each story, where it was like just things like came out of nowhere and it was really
Yeah.
weird and random and just way over the top. If that was
Yeah.
like the intention, like, oh wow, I didn't expect that, like, but
Yeah,
maybe
but-
do that for one of them, but not all of
Yeah,
them. Like you did
not
that
for
for
all of them.
everyone.
It seemed like, and like, you know, when like you're in school and you do like a school project when you're like just learning about theater or video and stuff.
Yeah.
It seemed like a project in like
High school
middle
project.
school.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
high school, because I feel like high schoolers would have more talent than that.
Yeah.
But like middle school,
Yeah.
maybe elementary, because it was like this, like
Maybe elementary.
yeah, because it was like
In the 90s.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the writers actually took themselves back to where
Yeah.
they were in the 90s.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it was like these stories that it was like, oh yeah, and then let's have her turn into Medusa. Like who does that?
Let's do a
Like,
Legends of the Hidden Temple episode.
it's like these, you know, dorky
Yeah.
middle schoolers together, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and then do this, and like
Yeah.
this one kid who gets to write all the final parts. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like, okay, here's the story. All right, how are we gonna end it? Well, what if we did that and we
Yeah.
did this? And like,
Yeah.
just so out there and random and just like really strange.
And they didn't even have a Y2K episode
Yeah.
story.
yeah,
This is VHS 99. People, come on. Like,
it's obvious.
that was...
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Maybe
so
it was
true.
too obvious. I don't know. People didn't want to... But that... Come on.
yeah. Why
was,
name
like,
it
right there.
99 if you know
Yeah.
it could have been any other year in the 90s, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is frustrating because these movies are not meant to be this way. They're meant to be actual like filmed things from like everyday life that are, you know, horrific, like the first one.
Yeah.
Those little short movies were very grounded, very simple, with just some horror in there. And
Yeah.
that's what these are supposed to be. At least, you know, that's what I think they should be. That's just the best way to do it.
I mean, that's what it started out being.
Yeah.
And then they started getting more and more of a budget, and they just decided to use it on just ridiculous, like, nonsense.
Yeah.
A lot of it's really bad CGI.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why, like, what they were thinking here. But I mean, some people liked this. I saw even
Yeah.
Sacktown movie buffs gave it like a decent review.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe we're the odd ones out on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how, but we are going to be getting another one next year. 1980 something, 84.
Yeah. The thing with that though is we're getting good directors, and that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what these movies were supposed to be about. They were supposed to give amateur horror directors a chance to get their own story out there.
Yeah.
And so, I'm excited for it because I'll always watch a VHS movie. But I like the fact that we have a couple of professional directors, but it's taking it away from what it started out to be in the first place.
Yeah.
Even
further. I mean, those first two VHS movies really created or was the launching pad for quite a few directors. Who ended up
Ty
doing
West
some
was
big
one of
things.
them.
Ty West. He did
Pearl
X.
director was
exactly
was one of them. So
and
another one did
Scream, right? And oh gosh, what are they called? Radio Silence.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Weren't
Radio
they part
Silence.
of VHS?
I think they did one.
One of the segments.
Yeah, one of the segments in one of the movies.
Yeah,
and
Ready or Not,
Godzilla vs Kong was another. I forgot who did that one, but he went on to do Godzilla vs Kong and another Godzilla movie or Kong movie. So
yeah,
I mean it's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a launching pad for directors who wouldn't have been able to get their name out there in the first place.
This is not launching anybody.
No, it's not.
So
it's not at all.
All right, well, we can go on and on about this one.
Yeah, we kind of already have.
Yeah,
multiple times now.
We're VHS fans. It's hard to see a franchise just. I mean, it's like Halloween. It's it's hard to see it just fall apart.
And they dipped in quality from one down to this one. There's been 5 of them, so this is the worst one.
Yeah. Okay. Joel, what do you have next?
So I'm gonna say, okay, so I actually ended up buying this movie on digital because it was fairly cheap. It was fairly cheap, and it was an unrated version of it. Oh. And this movie is PG-13, so I'm like, maybe it'll be better. But it's called The Invitation.
Oh.
It is a vampire Twilight-like movie, I guess. And it was just not for me at all. It was not good. I like vampires, but I don't know. I just was not a fan of this movie, at all.
Was there a romance story in there?
There was, yeah. Yeah, there was. And I mean, that's fine and everything. But it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it. It got us a 5.2 on IMDb, so people didn't really like this one either. And it's, I don't know. I was not a fan at all. I don't even know what to say about this movie. It just was not good.
Yeah.
I heard really bad things about it. Our daughter went.
Oh yeah.
And she was not a fan.
Yeah, and she's 14.
She's isn't she the demographic for movies like this?
Yeah. And so you would think, okay,
a vampire love story.
Yeah, if she doesn't like it, and her friend did not like it, and her friend's the one who would have liked this kind of movie.
Yeah.
And so they were so disappointed. So I had the goal of watching this movie because I needed more movies for my worst list. But I never got to it. So.
Yeah. Kind of figured it would end up on that list.
Yeah.
if we ended up watching it, but
Yeah.
we didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
should have watched it. Have something.
I know,
add
because
to the
I'm
list.
all out. Yeah.
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 I was also intending to watch Nope for that reason too.
Yeah.
Because I also heard horrible things about that, not just from Danny, but
Well, yeah, that one was kind of mixed for people, but
Yeah.
I heard nothing but bad reviews.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Nope was just like an okay movie,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
ending really put it on my list. So
I heard
Mhm.
better things about VHS than I did about
wow.
Nope.
okay, I wouldn't go
Wow.
that far.
Well,
Yeah,
but
I don't think I
I'm
would
saying there
either.
were reviews that I was seeing that people actually liked VHS, and I didn't find any
That's
that
true.
people
There
liked.
were.
No,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did see quite a few people liking Nope, but I think some of them are just kind of fooling themselves because it's Jordan Peele and he's
Yeah.
this big deal.
yeah. Well, I
And-
talked to Jordan Peele fans, and they
Oh,
were
okay.
like,
Oh, really?
"Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
not about it."
Well, I mean, one of them's got to be the worst of the three, right? Like, you
There's
can't
only
all
three.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
he
only
has
3 movies
to
he's
fall
done.
off at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can get back up, but he had to do something bad.
Yeah. Well, you
I
talk
hope he
to
gets
him,
back
he
up
doesn't
because
think
I'm
it's
not.
bad.
I wasn't a fan of his last 2 movies, so
You weren't a fan of Us?
not really. No,
Oh,
I liked. I don't know. I was gonna say I liked it more than Nope. I don't even think I liked it more than Nope.
Wow.
Oh.
I thought I found more entertainment with Nope than I did with Us.
Okay, you're gonna have to rewatch Us, Mister.
I've seen it a few times now, but yeah, it has been a while.
Okay.
It has been since we did that review, which was
Yeah.
coming on 3 years now, which is
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah.
Danny was by far the biggest fan of Us.
I liked that one.
Um,
But I had a very unique experience
Yeah.
with that movie because
Yeah, you got to see
I saw
it
it-
before everyone else.
yeah, I saw it months before anyone else, before there was even a plot synopsis, and we just knew it was Jordan Peele, and that was it.
Yeah.
well,
and
and
so-
didn't it have a different like ending and everything?
Some of the stuff was in a different order.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the scenes.
And you
were
had
in a
said that
different
you
order.
thought that it was better the first time that you saw it than
Yeah.
what they changed.
Yeah, I can't remember the details of it, but I do remember thinking that.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
And Danny came home and hyped this movie up like nothing he has ever done before. Like
Yeah.
he was
Wow.
like scared to go to sleep. He was like freaking
I don't know about
out.
that.
Yes, you were. He was freaking out about how amazing this movie was. Wouldn't stop talking about it for days.
Afraid
and
you might have a
days and
clone out
days.
there,
Oh
Danny.
my goodness.
And so then it was like, okay, so when I get hyped about something,
Yeah.
then it has to be really good.
Yeah.
He smiled me on that one.
All right. So you're out of movies.
I'm out. That's
Okay.
why I get to just keep talking.
Okay. My next one you did see,
Oh,
but you
let's
did
see
fall
if it's
asleep.
gonna be. Oh, then maybe. Oh, it's gonna be that phone one.
Black phone,
I don't know.
No,
Mister. I know.
no.
Mister.
Oh no, Mr. Harrigan's phone. No,
Yeah.
No,
Mr.
no, no, no,
Harrigan's
phone.
okay. No. That one was just kind of boring, but it wasn't that bad. Dash Cam. This one is on my list.
Okay.
It's another found footage style movie. It's an okay movie for a found footage
Mhm.
movie. It's nothing like super special or anything, and it's just decent. But why it's on my list is the main character is very annoying, very obnoxious. And I don't know if they were trying to be like satirical or kind of like poking fun at something like Bodies, Bodies, Bodies did with Gen
Yeah.
Z.
Yes,
Because
that's what I kept telling you about this movie. Is she was supposed to be obnoxious?
Yeah, but it did not land. It did not make me laugh. It was not funny.
Yeah,
She was
Mhm.
just annoying.
it
And
was too realistic.
I don't know if it was realistic. Basically, she is the character, or like a caricature of what the media might say, or social media, a Trump supporter. and she's got a red cap. And it take place during the pandemic. She's like all of anti-masking, and she's making fun of all these people. She's just very rude, very demeaning, and it's not funny. And I don't know if that's what they were trying to do, or they just really like wanted to really show. I don't know. I feel like they were trying to be funny.
I don't think it was funny that they were trying to go for. I think it was more like just pointing out the ridiculousness, like the extreme side of the ridiculous.
The pandemic. Yeah. Like the different types of people.
Yeah. And
I guess.
But not really
so
funny. I don't know.
I just, okay, if they weren't trying to be funny, like, whatever they were trying to do, they failed.
Then it was just annoying.
Because it was a super annoying character, and she didn't, like, redeem herself. Like, I thought it was going to be, okay, she's just, like, this horrible person, but then, because of this journey, she's gonna, turn a corner or something. And I think that they kind of try to do that a little bit, but not well. And
like Smile.
And it was so bad.
What a hater.
So annoying. She was the worst character of 2022. I will say that for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was bad because it also is like, is this like, because I know there's people out there like her, especially during that time, but it's just kind of reinforcing the stereotype at the same time of people who might be a little bit skeptical about, the pandemic and the vaccine and masks and, schools closing, or, all the different controversies with the pandemic. It's this stereotypical person that is getting displayed here. And it's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So, that's my rant on that.
They were trying to push some political agenda, it sounds like what they were
maybe
trying to do.
Yeah. I don't know, because there's times when she says things that I think are supposed to be funny. Like,
yeah.
But they just didn't land at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what they were going for, but
she just doesn't have that comedic timing. She's just not a good
maybe.
Well, and the writing
actress.
was horrible.
Yeah. And I was seeing good things about it, like when it first came out. Like just like, oh, this is just such a crazy movie, and it's controversial and all these things, but yeah.
Well, it was controversial, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
It has a 4.7 on IMDb.
Okay.
IMDb.
So most people didn't like this one.
IMDb. Yeah.
And then, but on Empire Online,
okay,
it has a 4 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
But
what about Rotten Tomatoes?
It has 48%.
Okay, well,
and
that's
audience rating on like Google. It has a 2.2 stars
out of 5. Or?
Out of 5.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of tracks. Yeah. So yeah, don't go watch that one. I mean, I might have interested you with this character and how ridiculous she is. So you might want to check it out for that. But I warn you against that. So she sucks.
It's a horrible character.
Oh yeah, she does like this rapping.
Yeah,
where people
she's
can
like
put in the
rapping
comments
in
and she like raps.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, the premise is she steals. So she's just horrible. She steals her friend's car, who is like a rideshare worker, and she does like this streaming stuff. Like she has followers on YouTube or something, and so she's like streaming her night with her stolen car, and just all this stuff that happens throughout the night. So it's a decent enough story and movie, but she being the lead character is so bad.
The focus of the movie.
Yeah, you cannot get behind her at all. So All right. Well, I think we have one more. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one more on here besides what we were both going to be saying here.
Okay.
But I've been thinking about it. I've been going back and forth, and I don't know if I even want to. It would be an honorable mention, and it's barely
Honorable.
an honorable mention. It didn't make my top 10, but I don't really even think it would make my top 5. Like even saying it's an honorable mention is kind of like a slap in the face to this movie because the movie's Beast. I actually like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I would put this movie.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It wasn't like
it's kind of
I don't know.
Like
it was
whatever movie.
Yeah. It was like It was one of the biggest whatever movies of the year for me. So
yeah.
I really like Idris Elba. He's a really good actor. It's just I don't know. It had some pretty bad CGI in it
with the lion.
With the lion, especially for it being in theaters. Like if this is more of a streaming movie. Yeah. But it was in theaters for a while.
It was.
So I was like, I don't know about that. But yeah, it's, I mentioned it last time on our other episode, so I don't really want to go into it too much here. But it's an okay whatever movie.
Okay.
So
that's fair. I would agree.
Yeah. And we've got one more, and I'm pretty sure we're both going to say the exact same movie. This one is definitely on my list.
It's on my list as well.
Yeah.
So I'll say the first word, and then you say the second word. Let's be all lame about this. All right. Jeepers
Creepers
Reborn.
Oh, I should have said Reborn.
Kill you.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen it, so
yeah, I haven't.
You can't even contribute.
Oh yeah.
This movie's so bad.
So this went to theaters for a few days. It was. I think some people saw it early, like some of the got some early screeners. And so we were seeing the reviews come out, and it was really bad. Like nobody at all liked this movie, even a little bit. Cody Leach had no positives on this one.
Yeah.
And so I was definitely kind of bummed, but I still wanted to see it. And it was Jeepers Creepers. It was in theaters. This is one of those childhood movies that I'll just always remember, the original. And so just had to happen. And I was super excited when they announced that they were doing another one.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to go in and get a so bad it's good kind of outcome. And I didn't even really get that. It was just bad that it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no redeeming quality of this movie whatsoever.
Yeah.
Everything from start to finish was just absolutely horrible. And yeah, I ended up renting this one, and I wasn't, I had heard all the negative things about it. I had no hopes for this movie whatsoever. I just wanted to see it because it's Jeepers Creepers. And I had seen the other 3 already, and to say that this is worse than the third one that went straight to Sci-Fi Channel is pretty bad, because this one was worse than Jeepers Creepers 3. It's at least with how Jeepers Creepers 3 ended, they brought back the original sister from the first movie. They were supposed to set up something for the next movie. And then we got this one, and it's this is horrible. And what makes things even worse is the fact that the director said he had enough. He basically said that this was the first of a trilogy, And it's like you think that we're all stupid. You think that all horror fans are idiots, for thinking that just because it's Jeepers Creepers we're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Enough for you to make 2 more movies. No, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And he had so much confidence in saying that he was gonna make a trilogy, and it's like, no, dude. And the director, I forgot which one it was, but he is a VHS director.
Oh yeah, he is. That's right.
Yeah. So sometimes they do really bad things.
Yeah. So for you, what was the most egregious or just horrible part of this movie or like aspect?
I don't even know where to begin. The worst, I don't know. I hated the look of the creeper.
Okay.
Because there's like pictures online about like side by side pictures of what he looked like in 2001 with the first movie and what he looks like now.
Yeah.
20 years later, it's so bad. It's like there's no way he should look worse 20 years later than he did in the past. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And it's really, really bad. The CGI birds at the end was horrible. Just everything about this movie is just bad. I don't know. I can't choose just one thing. It's just so bad. What about you? What was the worst part?
What was that?
What was the worst part for you?
Oh, for me, it was the just CGI scenery.
Yeah, that's what you kept talking about.
Yeah, it was pretty bad too.
And there's like a house, a CGI house, like a fake, like computerized house.
Yeah,
it's like they're in front of this thing that's not there that they put in later. Mm-hmm. It's like, what? You couldn't find a house to film in front of? Like, I know you have like a vision of what this house should look like, but I mean, you gotta put in some work, like to like find a location. Like, I feel like this whole movie was shot in a studio.
Yeah,
like,
it probably was.
Like none of it was actually on site.
Yeah,
except for like the horror festival, that didn't look fake.
With the whole 15 people,
yeah, it didn't look like a
festival.
Horror festival, but
no,
it looked like they were actually outside. Like it didn't look fake in that way. But a lot of the other shots and scenes just looked so bad, and I don't know if it was seeing it on a big screen just magnified the horribleness of it.
It looked pretty bad on my screen. So,
would you watch it on your phone or?
No, I actually have it. I watched it on my TV, but I don't know if you saw it in theaters, didn't you?
Yeah.
My TV's not that big, so
yeah. I don't think it matters what you watch it on. It might make it worse. Watching it in theaters because you can really see the fakeness more clearly. But yeah. And it's embarrassing. Like, I feel like, we had Halloween ruined. We had VHS ruined. We had Jeepers Creepers ruined.
Yeah.
These, like, franchises that should be so good are just falling apart. Thank God we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre to...
We got Scream, too.
Yeah, we got Scream.
Yeah. A couple of them didn't get ruined, but...
Yeah.
Well, they're not done with either of those franchises, so we'll see.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there's Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Yeah.
And that is everybody's movies. So let's now put them in order. So,
yeah.
Katrina, what was your... You only have 3.
I only have 3.
Okay. You know something I noticed? You didn't have Hocus Pocus 2 on your best of.
Oh, I didn't think of that as a horror movie.
Well, I thought you would. I mean, we talked about Haunted Mansion at one point, Casper.
We did.
Yeah.
And I did talk about that.
You did, but it didn't go on your list. Your best of.
Yeah. It probably should have.
Yeah.
It definitely does not go on my worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I definitely will make it an honorable mention at least on my best of.
Okay.
So,
all right.
if you guys have listened to that already, you can add that on there.
Okay.
Just add that.
Yeah.
Like a
just in case you've been
mental
taking
note.
notes of our
Yeah.
thing. So since I do only have 3,
Yeah.
then my number 3 will be Smile.
Okay.
Because although if it wasn't for the hype and the trailer and all that, if I hadn't seen the trailer and if I hadn't heard all the hype about it, I probably would have liked this movie a whole lot more.
Right.
So
okay,
number 3 for that. Number 2 is Halloween Ends.
Okay.
And number 1 is VHS.
Okay. Cool. Joel, what's your list?
All right, so my honorable mentions are Beast and Hellraiser. Number 5 is going to be Firestarter.
Okay.
Are we going back and forth, or
no? Just say your whole thing.
Just doing the whole list. Okay.
Yeah.
5 is Firestarter. 4 is The Invitation. 3 is Halloween Ends. 2, honestly, 1 and 2 can go back and forth. It doesn't really matter to me. But Jeepers Creepers Reborn is number 2, and number 1 is VHS 99.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter with those two. But...
All right. So for me, I've got honorable mentions. We're all going to the World's Fair and Firestarter. And then number 5 will be Nope. Number 4 will be Dashcam. Number 3 will be VHS 99. Number 2 is Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Let me switch those. Jeepers Creepers is 3. VHS 99 is 2. Halloween Ends is 1.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You liked Jeepers Creepers and VHS more. All right.
Yeah.
Or was it just you had more, like, higher
Halloween Ends
hopes
is just
for Halloween?
I mean,
Halloween Ends is just sad. It's demoralizing.
Well, and they ruined
my hero.
Not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Halloween Ends is like your lifeline.
Yeah, it's like, man.
They took apart
Halloween is your favorite movie of all time. So,
well, not my favorite of all time. My favorite horror.
Favorite horror movie.
Yeah.
Horror movie of all time.
Not my favorite
you have
of all
a favorite movie of all time that's not a horror movie.
Yeah. It's The Big Lebowski.
Oh.
Yeah.
Halloween's my 3rd favorite. Memento is my 2nd favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll have to do a list like that
that's
one time.
That's a different list.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun list to do.
Yeah.
Just not horror, but just like a top 5 or 10 of all time.
All time. Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. I remember sitting with you working on something like that. You have it like in your wallet.
I used to. I don't have it anymore.
I used to have mine too.
Oh man,
I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I don't. Remember, I lost my wallet.
Oh yeah, you did.
I still don't know where that is. Somewhere in the house, I think.
No.
Or someone took it but didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Because we were looking for it for a while.
They probably just needed to know to know the best movies out there.
Yeah, that's why
they just needed a new list of movies to get.
Yeah, I talked to too many people about my list.
Yeah.
They had to steal it from me.
When they saw it on that table, they're like, oh shoot, he's got a list of movies in there.
It's like the golden ticket.
Was Willy Wonka on that list?
No.
Obviously, it was number one. That was the true number one.
The number
one.
All right. So there's the worst of the year. It was a good year, so we had some okay movies in our list. So that's a good sign. Maybe next year we'll have. Hopefully, we don't have a more solid, horrible list. Hopefully, next year's just as good, if not better.
It seems like we had almost some of the best horror movies and the worst of the worst.
And the worst of the worst.
Yeah. We had a few of just like trash and a few of just great.
Yeah.
this year,
Yeah.
and then a lot of it in between.
I wanted to see They Them. The
I
movie.
still wanna
we
see
didn't
that
watch
too.
that one yet.
I was like, I wanted to see what, because I doubt that movie would make my top 10 of the year.
Yeah.
I've not heard like anything about that movie.
Yeah.
To be fair, like
Yeah.
not really good or bad.
So
I think it's supposed to be called They/Them.
it is.
By the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they slash them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Did you have something else you wanted to add?
Oh, I was just gonna say the year's not up yet.
True.
You still have time.
We do have.
We already did our list, but
There are,
we do have a couple more movies that are coming out. I don't think
Christmas horror movies.
Yeah, I don't think they would make. I mean, who knows? They might make the best of or the worst of. I don't know. I don't think they would make either list. But you know, we'll have to.
They're just fun little.
Yeah, they just look like fun Christmas
slasher
horror
movies.
Slasher movies, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about them.
So we'll see if we want. Maybe if we have time, we'll do a episode. Maybe just combine the two of them.
Okay.
In one episode. And then next week we have a very special guest coming on the show.
Yes,
super excited. Mikey from 98 Rock in Sacramento is coming on the show to talk about his favorite horror films. So
doesn't that station go beyond Sacramento? Doesn't that station reach other states? I thought that it was.
I don't think so.
Well, I think that they started doing a streaming of it.
Yeah, you can get it on the
because people would call
Odyssey app or whatever.
Yeah, and people would call into like Rad Radio and like from all over.
Yeah.
So
you can stream it now.
But I don't know if
anywhere.
Mikey's show went all over because the morning show was doing big things.
Yeah. No, I know the morning show was on the radio in different places. But 98 Rock, you can stream it on the 98 Rock app or on the Odyssey or Audacity or whatever their whatever their company is called. Yeah. You can stream it on their website.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he's been in radio a long time and we've been listening to him a long time, so it'll be cool to have him on the show. He also has his own podcast that is doing very well, so we'll talk to him about that as well. All right.
Can't wait.
We're also going to be talking about next year's films that are coming out.
Yes.
For horror.
Most anticipated.
Yeah, we'll talk about those as well. So look out for all these episodes coming soon. And this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Michael Myers bite. Can't. He's dead.
Don't let. Yeah, he is. Don't let Corey bite. Oh, he's dead too.
Yeah.